Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Shonen Ronin episode 47. We are going to be talking about One Punch Man 163, My Hero Academia, that fire chapter, and that creepy smile. JJK chapter of 189, Kaiju number 8 chapter 65, and Undead Unluck chapter 115. So let us see our lovely faces. How's it going, guys?
Hey yo,
It's a no Vash day in a way.
no Vash Day.
Yeah,
That's the day. That's the day I return. It's on a no Vash Day apparently.
I mean, that's a good day.
I feel you.
That's a pretty good day. I mean, but oh my god, there's a lot of good chapters. So many good chapters this week. Was it even been a week? Throughout each entire chapter, it had made it felt like it's the long storytelling. It's like, oh, you sure? Can we get the next one next week too?
Each one's been good, and I will say this since I won't be here for the My Hero discussion, that All for One's panel is my second favorite All for One panel in all of My Hero media because the first one comes from Vigilantes. And Ray, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, we do.
You know which one I'm talking about. This one right here, yeah, it's YouTube 7. This one right here is my second favorite All for One. Like this man, like he said, villains are scariest when they're wounded too, baby. Because it's not just heroes who benefit. Like at the end of the day, we know that the heroes will eventually prevail because this is Shonen Jump and whatnot. But My Hero tells you like, oh, villains, yeah, we give them dubs. We give them good dubs. And hey, it's about to be crazy. But I'll let y'all dive into that later. I'm excited to be back. You know, I love reading manga, and I've been back on my manga reading the last few weeks, last few months. Nearly caught up with everything. And Sam, I'm so sorry because I know you're leading the show, but
no, it's cool. No, free verse, go for it.
Kaiju number 8 and One Punch Man. I don't even know which one we should start with.
Bro, One Punch Man was.
Look, One Punch Man.
So One Punch Man. It is. Let's go.
Okay, let's do it. One Punch Man going right now.
Unlike Black Clover, which has disappointed me on numerous occasions.
Oh, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Whoa.
One Punch Man has
Black Joker. I heard of that. What's this?
At all? Like every fucking chapter is like, yo, this heat is crazy. It's crazy. Garu is fucking God now. He's you know what? I'm gonna say this right now, and Marvel fanboys are about to be upset with me. I would put up Cosmic Garu versus Cosmic Ghost Rider any day of the week. Any day of the week. I trust Cosmic Garu.
From seeing what good Garu can do, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't.
That whole look too is. I like his look. I really do like his look. It's just it's so clean. It's so clean.
So can we take a moment to pause and talk about that, because I feel like we've said this before, Sam, but people are still sleeping on the artwork in this series. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't know how.
It is the best. I don't care. I'm willing to stand and argue on this bed now. It's the best in Jump. Period. It's the best in Jump. It's the best in Jump. Period.
You see, I think the reason for that is that not more people watch anime than read manga.
True.
And also the anime has at least skewed people's perception of One Punch Man. I mean, animation is important, but for me it's not more important than the story. You know, I mean, if it's not complete bullshit, then I'm willing to let it slide. But those who are One Punch Man or who were One Punch Man until they got season 2 and they felt like they got you, please go read the manga, because man, you're missing out not only on great storytelling, but you are missing out on great artwork. Like, yo, like y'all said, this is honestly the best art in all of Shonen. The second best, in my opinion, and is only because how different it is 6Ps. I just love how different that art style is.
Also true. I do appreciate that art style.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. But OPM's art, oh my god.
That and
art, oh my god.
God, what's the samurai manga that I can't remember the name of right now?
The new one?
Elusive Samurai.
Elusive Samurai. The art in
Yes,
that is also pretty dope.
Good. Yeah. You're right. Elusive Samurai. Yeah, I think that's the top three art wise for sure. Elusive Samurai is a really good, really well drawn manga as well. But yeah, let's dive into OPM. Ray, you know you the OPM expert. Take it away. It's been so long since I've been on the pod with you, Ray.
I wouldn't say
so long.
Expert, but I mean, this story is solely about Garo right now, which I mean was probably the best thing they could have done. They gave us a character that we could like appreciate, but also wonder like what the hell was happening at the same time. And like you said earlier, quote unquote, God was like, "Hey, let me get up in there." God was like, "Oh, well, I'm about to borrow this real quick."
Yeah.
It's like, hello,
how you doing?
What? Like for real, Saitama was just like, okay. But I love the fact that Saitama still is like, man, he's still trying to like save him in this fight, which is hilarious to me. I'm like, when is Saitama actually like, and let's be real here, outside of when he saved that the ball chin boy, when was the last time he was actually like intent on saving somebody?
So I think two things to that, Ray. I don't think Saitama is actively trying to save him beyond the fact of promising this kid that he was going to save him.
That's what I mean.
But I think the point has been that Garo isn't truly innately a bad person. Saitama sees that and sees not just the intentional good action with the kid, but like other things that he has basically you've been consciously avoiding doing certain things. You've been making certain moves that put you in a place, but you're still being considerate. So how could you really be a villain? You know what I mean?
But he's definitely putting a lot more effort into this than we would normally expect from him as a result, because all the questioning is like, Saitama, what amazes me, and this is, I don't think I've ever said it on this platform, but I originally avoided anything OPM because when people used to talk about it in the beginning,
yes, because of the fandom, yeah,
they were like, "Oh yeah, he could beat anybody," and I'm like, I don't want to read or watch this. Like, this is not it's a parody. Okay, I'm not. Certain parodies that I fuck with are more on the horror aspect. Shout out to Cabin in the Woods, but like. This one, of course, everybody's pitting Saitama against everyone. Say he could solo your favorite anime character. Saitama could beat Goku's ass, which maybe I just ignited something that I probably shouldn't have re-brought up. But I'm sorry. However, I finally got to watch it. I watched it first, and then I went to reading it, and I enjoy how this series has such a powerful figure as Saitama. Yet they use him see him on screen. Not ruin it. Not even that. They do such a good job of focusing on everyone around him and their relation to him, and they use him so sparingly. Like this moment with Garo, if you brought this up to me several years ago, before I even gave it a chance, I'd have been like, "Oh yeah, he's probably gonna solo him." Blah blah blah. No, what is happening between Garo and Saitama is pure like entertainment right now. It is great storytelling. Like Cosmic Garo is matching Saitama right now. He is matching Saitama. Like, what was it? A fury of like 1,000 normal punches. It's like, they are going head to head and matched up.
In the words of the great Twitter space, the Annie Twitter, this is a peak shonen to use the popular. Yeah,
we have a much larger vocabulary here.
We have to use the baby words that everyone likes to use on Annie Twitter.
Now
there's only 3 words that we use. It's peak, it's mid, and I don't even know what the other common word is. But we know it's trash. There we go, trash. Peak, mid, and trash. That's the only
that's literally the tiers. Peak,
that's the only rankings we have.
That's it.
I'm like, what a shitty tier system, by the way.
It really is.
But back on One Punch Man, like this is just straight up fun. This is what I consider like. I compare One Punch Man to like, and this will sound rude, but it's real. It's like a Michael Bay popcorn flick. You know what I'm saying? The fights are dope. The characters are okay. But you have characters that seem cool as hell, and they're way cooler than they should be. You know what I'm saying?
Way cooler. Yeah.
But because I'm like, Bro, my favorite character is Metal Bat. That's literally his name, and he uses a metal bat to
Yo,
beat the shit out of people.
yo, Ray. I was about to say the same thing. Yo,
He's my favorite character.
That dude is
That man, he got the hairstyle. He got the hairstyle. He got the bat. He got the swag.
Tank Top Man is my third favorite.
Tank Top Master.
It's the way they've been doing Tank Top Master for these past couple of chapters.
That's also true.
That's
and you know what? That pig dude, kudos.
Oh yeah, Pig God.
Yo,
Pig
God's top 5. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
He pretty OP.
I hate to say it. Yeah, he pretty top 5. Yeah, you're right.
OP.
Pig God be holding. When earlier when they all had their, I'm so sorry. Like we should be focused on this chapter, but I've never really spoken OPM with you guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
But earlier, you know, when we are going through the monster association, we're fighting them. Everybody's matchups were so fucking intriguing to watch.
It was.
They were
Even
very
fucking
good.
that.
This whole arc has been like legit. I love it.
But this is what you talk about story. But that's what you talk about
storytelling.
storytelling. That's what you're talking about entertaining with not just the storytelling, but the writing. Because intentionally finding a way to create a character, you're introduced to this character well on, and then you don't get Sperm Man's like full thing until way later on. But you created a character to match against several different heroes actually. In specifically talking about Sperm Man, you got and each person along the way, each
calling
hero.
him Sperm Man, I swear to God.
What is his name? I mean, he's a sperm.
It's not Sperm Man.
He's a spermatoa.
Stop calling it. Stop
What
it.
do you want me to call
Super
him?
sperm.
It's getting
Redacted.
worse. Quit it.
Redacted.
Thank you. Thank you, monetization.
Shonen Ronin had just become an NS not safe for work
I'm
kind
sorry,
of video.
redacted.
Unfortunately.
Fair enough.
Redacted.
Monetization,
Sorry, kids.
Redacted. But make sure when I go over this, I'll just
the
bleep every
actual
time I say that word.
to the actual point, right? 18 plus disclaimer on all of the videos. To the actual point of having someone to match and pair alongside the heroes, showing not just their powers but their personalities, their quirks, their biases, and exposing that with all of the top heroes throughout this entire arc in multiple fights. We've seen Child Emperor get exposed. Everyone.
I have to say, I'm mad because like y'all weren't wrong, but his real name is worse.
Oh, I know. That's why I was like, what do you want me to actually call? I already said it on the camera too, so
that's true.
That.
I mean, come on, man. Black sperm, really?
I told you. I told you.
Platinum sperm. Redacted.
No. Okay, nope. I'm done.
Moving on.
Hey.
Oh man. See, this is what I mean by the ridiculousness of this damn story.
Wait. But one more thing on that character. I won't say their name. Redacted.
Redacted.
Black, so black, right? It goes from black and then it goes up tiers of metals.
It's way worse.
No, okay, I'm trying to bring it around, but it's basically still like talking about like it's all
redacted
metals, right?
pineapple juice version, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's different tiers of cores, right? So he goes from this state where he is a core, and then he's refined metals as he progresses to his higher tiers. I just wanted to point that out in case no one else ever noticed it. That's watching.
I definitely noticed it, unfortunately.
It was hard not to notice.
Moving on.
By the way, yeah. So Cyber, I don't read ahead. I read basically what's available in Jump for One Punch Man.
Same.
Like I would read ahead, but I'm like, I'll just wait. But I think how many chapters are they ahead already? I think it's at least what, 2?
The redrawn unofficial releases are like 2 to 3 chapters ahead.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
The webtoon is way ahead. The webtoon is beyond.
So. And I'm like, I'll wait. I'm patient. You know, I don't mind. I got plenty of stuff to read.
So, yeah, we trying to get monetized on here one day. We can't be reading all those illegal stuff all the time. What's wrong?
What you talking about? Everything we read is legal.
Exactly.
Shout out to the Shonen Jump app. You know, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we do appreciate y'all. You know,
Exactly.
if you want to come through
shout out to
partner
Viz
with this
Manga.
channel one day, hey,
yeah.
we
Shout
right
out to
here.
Viz Media and Shonen Jump. We out here. We support
We
y'all
appreciate y'all.
every
Except
weekend. That's
I
why
need
we
you
on a
to-
Sunday. You know.
Although, start putting out the One Punch Man chapters early, please.
Please.
But anyway, back to this. There is one thing that I was like, oh, well, how did that work? Other than just the fact that they explained Garo's ability of like, okay, so how did he just subvert God? Take his powers?
Didn't they say like because of martial arts, it just like
Yeah,
helped
it's
him
just
flow
the-
with the water? The
Right. It's kind of like
passageways?
he copied it and mimicked it and made it his own. And I'm like, oh, okay. Which I'm like, I get it. I'm like, this is there's no way you could actually make stealing God's powers make sense. At least I don't think so. Because whatever you could say would just have to be equally ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it works, but I was just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Dude.
But I'm curious to see if it retaliates at all, and tries to
think
take
so.
back control.
I think so. It has to, just because now it seems like this is going. It seems like we're moving into the next big threat. Which, if you're gonna introduce God, you can't have Garo supersede God, right? That'd be. I mean, it like you said,
you
Ray,
could.
utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous.
Because
then
it
at that
depends.
point,
It
it's
depends
like,
on the
wait,
tiers, because there could be tiers of divinity. So like I think there's been build up for Earth's God. We'll just say it like that, or this Saitama's Earth's God, and I think that's what they've been playing around with since the beginning of the well, I'll say beginning, but like midway
is
through
funny.
the villain arc.
Because
I mean,
Saitama's
the
been
monster arc.
sensing him too. Saitama's
That's
been
true.
sensing
That's
God.
true.
And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, is
Although-
Saitama on God's level? Is that what you
Do y'all think that well, I mean, Saitama's technically a threat to God, right?
Yeah, he is.
I think that's the
Because
whole
it
premise.
seems like-
That's the
because it
premise
seems
of the
like-
series, right?
Because he's like God seems to supporting monsters left and right throughout the entire time. He just said, "Fuck the
No.
humans." Like you guys have Saitama. Fuck the humans. Just give all that to the monsters.
like, it's weird, but
Do y'all think that Blast and his group come in at this point?
Yo, that's the other thing. When that
When they
one
did-
chapter where it ended and you see the silhouettes and you're like, all right, who
Yeah.
the fuck is all
I'm
these
like, who the
people
hell are
with
these
this
other
man?
people, bro?
Who the hell these motherfuckers? Like, they have to show up. They have to show, because they said something. And then that's where, you know what? I'm really glad, Kendall, that you mentioned the tiers, because that's where it's like, all right, maybe this is like a low level God. Is that
Oh
what this
shit!
could be?
Okay, I didn't think about that. I
Like-
hadn't even gone there.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
like,
Didn't they
'cause then it's like,
mention
who's the
multi-dimensions or something
who's
like
the
that
yeah,
too?
who's the council?
Yeah.
Who's
There are
the
different
council
dimensions.
responsible
Yeah.
for? Because the
Yeah.
council has to. If they're thinking it's still not worth intervening, we're literally seeing the Earth be warped, like not just physically but dimensionally, and they're like, "Well, still not time to jump in yet." Huh?
Murata.
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
What is the qualifications
God-
for you guys to interfere?
God, Murata. Don't make them like the Illuminatis. No, don't make them like the
because
multiverse.
now
Don't make them
Garu could
that.
be possessed by. Maybe this is maybe this is Dark Side stepping into the OPM universe and he's using his avatar to possess Garu. Like, maybe that's what it is, because
Didn't they
at
say
this
like
point,
No.
Garo said
No.
like, nah, God had
I
no
would-
control over me. He's
I
like, this
would
is all on my
love-
own free will kind of stuff. Which
Yo,
I dig that. It's like, no, God ain't not got no
Side
ain't got no control on me. This is all me. This is me from the beginning. The power, the beat 'em up, the killing the heroes and shit. This is straight up me. I was like,
It's me, Big God. I did it first. Nah, but side tangent, a DC Marvel collab with the My Hero and One Punch Man world would be fire as a super side tangent.
That's a
That'd be
lot.
interesting, but it would be a lot. But it's a lot of characters that should mash it together. So you would have to be very selective.
Although
but it could work.
there's
It'd be
a specific run. It's like the Batman and Superman run that I think would be a good fit.
Yeah, I don't think you need everyone. I think you pick maybe 2 or 3. maybe
Well,
2
you
or 3.
mean an amalgam?
Yes, 2 to 5 from each of those worlds would be fine.
That would be ridiculous, but I mean that would make sense for as nuts as that's gonna be.
It'd be wild.
So
But
from the latest
OPM
chapter
is
from
so good.
Viz, because we haven't touched the scans or other sites in official, the nuclear fusion. or fission.
Good Lord, bro.
Fission, yeah, nuclear fission.
They're like, is that homeless man's attacks? And they're like, no, bro, those are nuclear explosions.
They
I'm like,
literally
oh, God.
see the shadows and silhouette of the smoke of Saitama and Garo.
This that one colored image was god tier. I was very happy to see that.
And you know what? Even better, and this is where we go back to the artwork. When Garu becomes Cosmic Garu and he lands in front of the heroes, the panels as he's talking and their faces, their fear was like, I felt it. I felt how scared these heroes were standing before Garu. Like that is some great art right there. Those panels right there were fire. Like they are horrified. All of them. No sense of defiance, no sense of like, yo, we have a chance. All hope is gone. There is none of them that is about to step up and be like, nah, we can get, there's no one rallying the troops at this point. Everybody has lost their collective minds and are just running. That was, those last few pages of that chapter were great artwork and just great dialogue too. Just from Garu expressing like, this is what I am. I am the fear to the heroes. Like heroes look upon me and all they want to do, all they can think about is running. And the eyes, you saw their eyes, how they were wide, their facial expressions. Man, best art in all of Shonen Jump easily.
I mean, especially just the whole few pages with the nuclear fission. I mean, good Lord.
The fist of eradicating all life forms.
It showed how destructive it really, like, there are times in manga, even in anime and cartoons where they have certain scenes like that. And it's like, okay, cool, big explosion, boom. Nah, this one is a detailed as, like, this is what you expect. Like, this may, we've seen pictures in history books and whatnot, the atomic bomb and whatnot. This looks like exactly like that. I felt, I was like, oof, nobody would survive that. Yet somehow Saitama always does, because Saitama is that just that guy. He's just that guy. But that was a ridiculous attack that had the people shook, because like you said, they were like, oh, this is just homeless people fighting. It's like, no, that was a nuclear attack. Holy shit.
And then the gamma ray burst.
Yes. So then on top of that, to add to that point is, again, we talk about Garo's evolution, right? We go out of the way to point out that Garo has actually met one of his goals in the process of fighting Saitama, because his body appears in front of the heroes and their instinct.
Kenny, you might have to repeat that.
Tells them,
Kenny, you might have to repeat
Garo
that.
accomplishes. Let me know. Yeah, I see that it's unstable. Let me know when you're hearing me clear again.
We hear you now. Yeah, you're
perfect. Yeah, I was saying that he appears in front of the heroes, and their natural instincts are all screaming, "Damn, we're screwed." There's no point in moving. There's not even a point in running. Whatever this is in front of us, we're screwed.
What's
fight or flight response is eradicated. There is no such thing as fight. There is no fight.
What's insane was when they were fighting their own individual monster enemy that was like their opposite parallel, they were already shook. They had they got,
and those fights were great.
They had they given up. It was like, oh, I can't do this. Is the entire opposite of it. And now you have an even more bigger threat where they just outshine you every single time with that even bigger centipede, the whole entire ocean. People were lost in the entire thing. They didn't do nothing. They couldn't do nothing. They were drifting apart and everywhere, stuff like that. And then with Garo, right there in the face, even Flashy Flash was like, yo, my speed was not able to compete with them. I actually fell off from this fight and stuff like that, from the sperm monster and Garo. And then Saitama just randomly coming into the mix. All of them knew that whoever mixed it up on top, it had better been the hero, because they know for sure that none of them were gonna live, whoever comes out on top. But this is all there. Even in Garo's master was like, yo, you still you? Are you still yourself, and that sort of speak? Because even the master knew himself sure, yeah, I can't kill him anymore. he's way beyond my length of being able to kill him. This is he surpassed way too much. And then I just love that last page. Like, yo, I'm sorry, kid. I got evil things to do. This is straight Garo. I love it. I love it.
It's spectacularness. It's just you know what? F it. I'm gonna do what Kenny just said. This is peak.
What are we saying?
I know I'm a hypocrite. I'm sorry.
Jesus. But no, One Punch Man is great. I love.
All right, what is
One Punch
Jesus
Man
about to show up in this manga too?
Entertainment piece in Shonen Jump for me. Like, it's just purely entertaining every single time. That's why I keep reading it.
Easily. I look forward every time, and I only know when the new chapter drops when I look at the group chat and y'all like, you or Sam like, yo, OPM, and I'm like, oh, bet, let me go, let me open up the app and start reading immediately, because this shit has just been great. It's been entertaining by far, and like you guys said during the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen, Sam and Kendall were talking. They were like, man, it's hard to pick out a favorite chapter that dropped this week, because all the mangas have been really, really good, and I'm going to use this to kind of segue into Kaiju number 8, because I do want to speak about Kaiju number 8 before I have to go. This recent chapter of Kaiju number 8 has been entertaining in the emotional department, and that is another example of good writing and good storytelling, because now we have the conclusion. We've dealt with the conclusion of Ichikawa. I suck with the
it's
name.
Ichikawa. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Ichikawa. You know, we know that he's going to now be working with number 6, and our boy, you know, he gets news, and he's like, damn, like look at all my peers just really doing the damn thing, and what am I doing?
He's he's like those, like, yo, I went to school with this guy, and you see him becoming multi-millionaire, billionaire, and stuff like that. It's
and the realization, like, yo, they are doing that with their own power, not with enhancement. He's starting to doubt himself. He's starting to doubt himself again, you know, because the first time it led to a mental block. Now he's doubting himself again. He's like, yo, I don't have my own power that I can rely on. You know, I'm using this one, and it comes with so much risk. But then one of our favorite vice captains pulled up and
one of them, my favorite. That's my boy.
I was about to say, who else?
There are others.
Who's the other vice?
I'm just saying,
there's other vice captains. I didn't even know there were other vice captains. That's crazy.
I do.
You think about Black Clover again? That's all.
I said vice captains. I don't know why I said, but he can't. He pulls up and he punks our boy with the rubber knife, which I thought was kind of funny as fuck, because it was like, you ain't have to do him like that. You ain't have to do him dirty. But the conversation that those two have, I felt like, all right, we're not going to deal with him being mentally blocked all over again. He gets it again. He's confident again, and he's about to have his training arc.
Finally.
He's about to have his training arc where he can rely on his own power, because mind you, he has the knowledge. And his knowledge has been very helpful, but now you get to back it up with some moves of your own, and then you pair that with the kaiju ability that you have. Oh yeah, he about to glow up. That glow up is about to be real. These next upcoming chapters, if we're gonna jump into training arc immediately or we're gonna bounce around before then, it's about to be some real fun.
I'm curious to see where they go. That's the one thing about Kaiju number 8 was where it's I've had the most trouble predicting where Kaiju number 8 is going to go next, but that's okay, because usually it's exactly where I was hoping it would go, but didn't expect it to. So, I mean, Kaiju number 8 is one of the ones that I'm like, whenever it comes out, unlike One Punch Man, I'm more invested in the story in this one.
Yeah.
So, like, I really want to know what's going to happen, and there's still so much that we don't know about the kaiju in general. And a lot of the characters that I'm like, okay, I need this to be a weekly, like, right now.
So, yeah, I think Sam and I have been pretty on point with our predictions, because we've been pointing this out that, you know, we were talking about the peers, and then there's actually notice that they actually there was like a specific panel that showed like another peer that we haven't seen.
Exactly.
So I'm like, are we gonna get something from them too? Because I'm guessing they would be the last of the peers, because the other was just like a kind of random shop.
Unless there's just the
or
fathers.
they might be sacrificial pieces.
The frontline infantry.
People gotta die in this series.
Fodder.
People gotta die.
Someone's gotta die.
And I'm like, thinking about it, outside of Big Head Honcho, have we lost anybody else?
In the capacity,
no.
They have been listed casualties, but they're not of people that we know.
Right, exactly. So yeah, we've only had one loss so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a major loss.
That makes sense. It was massive. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So I'm like, well, if they're adding more to the cast, you usually know what that means.
Yep,
that's true.
Yep,
we're gonna lose somebody else.
But this is cool because I like, we knew. So like, Sam, correct me. I knew we talked about them being the peer, right. But I don't think I realized that they actually haven't had their moment to train together. We just acknowledge them as a peer based off of the fight and everything that happened that led up to the transition of what this, we'll call it a sub arc, if you will, has been this like training arc or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that this would be cool. I hope that we don't I hope that they actually use it as a mixed opportunity to train and progress the story at the same time, because I'm actually starting to get a little training fatigue.
I'm kind of with you on that. It's like, all right, how long is this training arc for to be? Like, can we please train or get training interrupted like it happens most times? Training gets interrupted, and then we have to move on.
Oh,
because
you thought you could plan your war at this certain time?
The bad guys are like, listen, bro, why would I wait and let you get stronger? That's what it feels like this bad guy would do, but they did enough damage that I'm like, he probably ain't got no choice. So I don't know. It's like I would love that.
Even he needs recovery time.
Exactly. And he admitted it. He, like the last time we saw him, he was like, "Hey, well, I gotta rest up."
I'm glad to have this, but let me not lose it on the first day.
I think more strategically of a transition even would be, especially if we're gonna have more training, is to transition to maybe 5 chapters. It doesn't have to be like a whole arc. 5 chapters of maybe not specifically that kaiju, but workings of what's going on with the kaiju to help expand the world from another perspective.
So
because we know that they're sentient, we know that they're intelligent. So like, why would we not see some of their thoughts around things?
I mean, and what we've also learned is that most of these kaiju have come from number 9. So it's like, all right, so I want him to do, and I love that I get to say this, do a Horikoshi. Give us a kaiju side of the story and bring that up to speed for us. So that way, and then we can come back to our group over here and go from there.
And even more traditionally, I know some people hate it, a flashback would be fine here. Some story contextually, a mini
only
flashback.
If it's a kaiju flashback at this point. But I want kaiju flashbacks.
Yes, specifically a kaiju flashback. I don't care about everybody else. We've seen enough glimpses of what's her name's mom. Yeah, we've seen enough glimpses of what's her name's mom and what the Force looked like before. I have a pretty good structure of how they did things previously. I want to know about the kaiju, and instead of trying to force me to learn that from the perspective of the humans constantly, like I said, now would be a great opportunity to give me some context from the aspect of the kaijus.
Yep. Because it's like, how did number 9 figure out how to make other kaiju? Did number 9 make number 8? Like, what's up with this?
And the thing where you can, and this one takes some creativity, but you can also combine it, like the flashbacks with current day, because remember, number 10 is supposed to be bonding with
that's right.
Everyone.
That's right.
Which is funny because he accepted it, and now he's about to train Kafka. So now
I wonder if that's gonna be like, a you train me, I train you, because I know this stuff. That'd be okay. So I know we just said enough. I know we just said enough training, but I do want that.
You know,
that's why I said. That's why I said a break,
exactly,
a 5, a like 3 to 5 chapter break of like, let's just transition back, and like you said, keep it something that's going on in the present, so it could still be a part of the training, but take me out of the training just for a little bit,
even if number 10 is at least
chapters.
given a history lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
That I would like that. I'm not gonna. Yeah,
especially
I would.
What if number 10 is given a history lesson about number 8 while he's training him? You know, we're getting two voices. We're getting two perspectives while Kafka's being trained. That's a possibility. I mean, there's different ways, and like Ray mentioned, it's so hard to predict which way they're going to go, but they haven't disappointed. They have not disappointed.
I just had a funny thought. Like, what if? So he goes, what if the vice captain actually just goes, how did you bond with number 8? I mean, and he just goes, well, I ate it. And they're like, what the fuck?
And he looking at him like, wait,
and number 10 is like, you not about to eat me, bro.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, that'd be funny. A funny moment right there for sure.
That'd be hilarious. I'd love that.
I could just see number 10 being like, hey, I'm the kaiju here.
But even then too, it would be an interesting occurrence happen, because you know how number 8 reacts to other kaiju, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
poorly.
Yeah, so at least we know that number 10 and the lieutenant, second in command, have not bonded yet, or else Kafka's his kaiju senses would have been going on.
I think they're gonna be bonded by weapon and user, right? With number 10
remember, number 10 was like, number 10 is like, hey, you're not about to just make if you want what I know, if you want my help, me and you, we gotta be on equal playing fields. I keep my conscience, because number 10 is convinced that he's gonna take over anyway. He's like, we're gonna play my game. So it offers a very different scenario that we're not used to. You know, it's similar actually to what Kafka is going through with number 8. Whereas number 8 hasn't been sentient in the fact like we've had conversations or we've heard him speak. When number 8 wants to come to the forefront, number 8 comes to the forefront. So now we can get a more advanced dynamic with number 10.
I agree, and I was actually that was going to be my response too. Is that it's definitely feeling like it's either something new, hybrid, or something more akin to what Kafka has going on. So to that point, though, however, I have a question. If I'm not mistaken, there has been hints that the kaiju that is kaiju number 8 is possibly a more, I'll go with the term, primordial being, because they're seeking it out. Like that was the whole point of it initially, is that they were seeking out specifically. So whether it's a remnant, maybe there was
Godzilla.
Yeah, maybe there was some. I mean, we know that Godzilla is technically, well, you know, we'll swing back around to those theories for another episode. But
he did.
Yeah. I think that the question here is basically, do you guys think that maybe number 8 is actually the origin of the rest of them, conversely? So we know that, you know, 9 created, but if kaiju number 8 was actually previously in existence, because they're only named off of their occurrence when the humans see them, so we don't know the age sequence. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean, but it's also like, that's why I'm hoping we kind of get when are we going to get yes, let's tell you the other half of the story that you've been missing, so you can fill some of those gaps. Like that's what I've been waiting on. Like why? Were they just a natural occurrence? Like, who did we make them? Are they of the earth themselves? Like, where are they coming from? I need to know.
Yeah, definitely pull a Horikoshi. We need that. We need that for sure. We need that.
Please. I would really like that.
I'm not blaming. But overall, I mean, the chapter was really good. Again, is building on the more emotional aspect of it and setting us up for a possible training arc, if that is next. Otherwise, we're going to go somewhere else with it, which again, I'm perfectly fine with, because there is so much, like Ray said, that we still don't know. You know, there is so much that we still have yet to see. There is even the inner workings of HQ. If you wanted to go explore that with the head gone and how they're starting to move about with their business under new management, cool. Or what missions are going on to try to figure out how we're going to prepare for number 9, or what background work can we do to set up our heroes who we're grooming to prepare to go to battle with number 9. There's different avenues it could take, and that's what is exciting, because again, like Ray mentioned, it's been hard to predict where it's going to go, but it's been enjoyable regardless. It's been enjoyable. So it's been a great week. It's been a great week, honestly. As a manga fan, for those who don't read manga, I'm gonna need you to get on it, please. Yeah,
just give it a shot. I mean, most of y'all can read. Come on now.
Look. If not for nothing, and I know this is, at least you can look at pictures, right? At least you can look at pictures. So
not the pictures.
You'll be able to get a gist of what's going on with the pictures. Unless you're reading JJK, then you need to learn how to read when it comes.
Bro, we'll talk about that.
You need to learn how to read. If you don't know how to read, then don't.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that. But yeah, still. No, I would like to summarize all of this, what I said about this chapter, into read Kaiju number 8. Read Kaiju number 8. I need y'all to give Kaiju number 8 the same amount of love y'all give with Sakamoto Days, okay? Because I will put these stories on par with each other, straight up. Like, please, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I know they're for different crowds, but they're both very good. Do not let Kaiju number 8 die, because I will legitimately do everything in my power to make sure that something that you love dies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna die anytime soon, especially when it made over like 14 million sales. It's copy sales.
If Kaiju number 8 dies, everybody who is the Boys fan, I will spoil everything you love.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
Violence!
Oh,
violence!
Spoil everything you love. I will post comic panels. I will tell you the histories of whatever characters are coming. I will give you the deaths of certain characters. I will spoil everything you love. Kaiju number 8 dies, your love of the Boys will die. I don't give a fuck.
Abe said he gonna create a whole.
You know what? Not even that.
Wiki for
I'm gonna spoil Chainsaw Man for y'all motherfuckers, because that's coming up. I will spoil that, and when the new one drops, I will spoil that too.
Yeah, my accounts are coming to spoil. What? I'm with you. I'll catch up on One Piece just to spoil it for y'all.
Shoot, I'll spoil it for y'all right now. What you mean?
I was waiting for it.
We got new wanted posters. You want me to tell you what it's right now?
There we go. We woke him up. We got him.
You could barely spoil One Piece though. They about 10 chapters behind in the anime. I don't know what to tell you.
That's true. That is true. That I am aware.
Some people are still slow in their. I'm just saying. Look, just protect Kaiju number 8. If you do that, you ain't got no problems for me. You ain't got no problems for me.
Please, but any other thoughts on Kaiju before Abe's got to jump?
I mean, Abe, you still have time?
I got time to talk about half of one more series.
My Hero. Since before we leave, you want to talk about it? Talk a little bit, and you get some more info in there.
If we do My Hero, yeah, I can stay for that too, because I was gonna have to jump early. So
yeah, I feel like that too. So let's just go straight into My Hero right now.
Yeah, boy.
Kenny, you want to start this
Shout
off?
out to All For One.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Endeavor, bro.
Yo.
Shout out to my boy Endeavor. You see NG behind me, bro. You see NG behind. Shout out to my boy.
Yo. I ain't never seen that flag span 3 chapters for a character.
Stretched. Like, whoa, is this still one chapter?
What you mean? It's been like 3 chapters.
This man has had a dead flag for almost, yes, I'm about to say realistically almost 4 chapters. Like from the time we started this fight, it has been a giant dead flag just
from the oopsie. From the oopsie. We knew what was happening.
Yeah. But it's been a great moment of redemption for Endeavor.
My boy is going out on a very high note. Yeah. Like one of the highest notes. He's giving him, look, the man said it himself. Ain't nobody gave him hands like this since All Might.
Did you see the missing the air quotes missing arm? Did you see this man said, "You forgot what I control, sir?" I don't need body parts. All I need is a will to fight, and I got a will to fight right now.
Was this also the first time we ever seen him doing the heat beam eyes or something like that too?
That's the first thing. That's the first other thing I thought
I
about.
was like, yo, what?
This motherfucker had
Heat beam eyes?
I had to look at it again. I was like, wait, did All For One just like shoot him with lasers?
I thought it was.
Did he just shoot me?
I thought it was the reverse. I was like, damn, Endeavor, he took your eyesight. And I'm like, wait, Endeavor, All For One.
Endeavor got heat vision.
Oh yeah, heat vision this entire time.
So I don't think it's this entire time. I think the rage and the burst in his potential that is literally happening as his embers are fanning out.
Again, if
I think
lives, I'm gonna be upset.
Not just.
I mean, if he does, he'll be corkless.
If he lives after all of this, if he is not crippled beyond the level of Might Guy and Boruto,
Man, y'all is dang out. Y'all just love to.
All we're saying is that we're about to have a new
Damn.
number one. We're about to have a new number one again.
Ain't no more numbers. The numbers is gone.
we about to have a new,
ideally,
sir.
but,
So we about to have a
we'll
new
see.
number 1 through 4. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like I said, ain't no more numbers. Ain't no numbers out
right
here
now.
no more.
If they move the direction they should have, yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah. So the number one hero Endeavor has failed, but with him, we're also killing the ranking system because this all needs an overhaul.
I think that would be a
Unintended.
beautiful, fitting way to tie that together. Is that
Yeah.
the conclusion of this war destroys the ranking system, because I think it is effectively very much so a part of the problem, because everyone is seeking the popularity of a ranking position. And I think you're right. I think Endeavor should come with that. But yes, that would be great for Endeavor too, for you Endeavor fans. He became number 1. He was able to, air quotes, match his rival, the person that he was chasing his whole entire life and career.
Quotes?
I mean, because
it's
in their conversation. It's not in the open world announcement.
You know what matters?
If it isn't,
you know what matters
advertised to the
more than all
world.
that? My feelings, and my feelings were made when he said that.
And again, like I
it.
said, for you,
I seen it. I was there.
For you, all the audience, for us, the readers, we got our moment. So again,
we just confirmed what we knew.
If he is extinguished now, it would be fitting to just like he's done. He's actually literally. He's
gassed, bro. Did you see the last panel of his face? He's gassed. He's wheezing.
Bruh.
He's done. There's not much more that he can do right now. Unless these students save him, he's done.
Whew. I don't know, because that last panel with All For, he got something big up. He said, y'all think y'all the only one that can make sacrifices?
So what I'm curious about is if he was talking about something there in that moment, or something else somewhere else.
I think it's something else somewhere else, and I think that's why we had the visage of the original what's his name? Did we ever get his name, or we just been calling them the first this whole time?
The first user? I don't remember his name.
I think we've been saying first. We've been saying
because that was Danger Sense. Danger Sense when like blew up. He's like, "Hey yo, something right."
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about that small panel right before All For One said that villains are scariest when
for bringing that up?
It was a little area,
and the bullets specifically.
That had me like, wait, hold on.
And the core killing bullets too.
What I'm worried about. So there's two things that I'm.
It's you saying that it's a small panel.
It was very obvious.
It's a quarter.
So there are two things that
it was like this big, but if you noticed it was like, hold on, that's a little airy. What's she doing over here?
So Horikoshi, we already know what the quirk deleting bullets do. But what if somehow, because he has a scientist on his team, they were able to like reconstruct Ares' quirk from the bullet, and now All For One is like, I'm gonna try out this rewind thing and see what happens.
So that was one of my 2 thoughts. My second thought is, what if mass gas form, his body has a self-detonating bomb?
That's also what I was wondering.
That releases, and now everyone in this area is quirkless.
Wouldn't that be? So see, that is also what I was wondering. I'm like, what if it's just like one of them bullets just about to pop out his eye? Gotcha. But I was like, would that be?
tripping.
I was like, but would that have the kind of gasp factor that like this? You think that this moment should? I don't think so.
No, because he mentioned again, he's like, you guys aren't the only one who can make sacrifices.
Yo.
So it made it seem like it was going to be something that would personally affect him and make him think like, yo, he really like he's going to
what they said in
extra
chat. Shout out to the new editor, Horror's new editor. Yes,
Yo,
I'm very happy with this new editor.
Facts,
like very happy.
Facts. Also, we finally, because I was afraid that we weren't going to get justification of Eri back into the story, and I struggled with thinking of like what.
I don't know why y'all be doubting Hori. Just because he's not right at the pace that y'all be. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just like the internet doubts Hori.
Yeah,
like,
I just
he's
wanted
taking his time, but let him tell his story.
I just couldn't.
He's been giving us peak.
Yeah. Damn. Here we go again.
I blame Kendall, honestly.
You can't blame anyone else but me. You really can't. However, I really struggle to see a way to effectively bring her back in while still protecting, because I think it's crazy to bring her to the field. However, I do like crazy, and people can be teleported all over in this world. I'm not opposed to some chaos. However, I think there has to be we're getting the tie back now. That's all that matters. I was wondering how and when and where in this fight some tie back would come, and I was really hoping she wasn't going to be used as a cheap escape towards the end of the fight to fix and heal people. So I'm glad that there's a reference.
Look at this go be the opposite.
There's only one other person that Eri would most likely heal at this point, and it's Aizawa. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Because I will also say he's probably one of the most important people.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna let it happen. I don't think Aizawa wants that to happen. I don't think that Eri gets used like that again. I don't think it's necessary.
We got our boy Mirio back.
We've talked about this,
and so
that amount of healing, and the amount of time that's passed.
Well, yeah, her horn is. Last time we saw her, she had a little
basically.
candy corn again. So it ain't happening.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
And they kind of already substituted Aizawa's quirk with Monoma's.
I fucking hate. I hate that he's useful. I hate that he's useful.
You don't like old boy?
I fucking hate Monoma. Oh. He's a pain in my ass.
Oh shit. I put him in. I fuck with him as like
he's the character that you're supposed to hate, but it's like I don't really hate you, but I hate you.
You know,
he's an asshole.
Speaking of characters like that, you know who I'm tired of getting random scream time? The mask Kamui dude. I'm so tired of.
Oh.
It's just like, wow, I made a really cool design, but I have nothing to do with this character.
Wait, who?
The wooden dude, the mask dude.
Oh, Kamui Wood.
Yeah, Kamui Wood. Yeah, I'm tired of him. Stop giving him
Randomly hate Kamui.
I'm just nothing. That's the point. Why is he?
He was useful right there. You saw how he said he literally.
I'm gonna work with you. There's only been one time that he was like completely useless.
This man's character is a plot point, and it's a little disgusting. It's just like, oh, I need to move people. I need to make a tech. Hey, yo, you can move. You can move people. You can wrap things, large things. I'm gonna just use you. He's like a house appliance at this point in the manga.
No, he's the air fryer in your house.
It's true. He does have.
You're giving too much value because air fryer. I like my air fryer. He's more like a blade sharpener. You might pull it out. You might pull it out occasionally. You might pull it out occasionally in key moments, but
I mean,
it's useful when you use it.
Say what you will, but like Elle says, I mean, he's with Mount Lady.
He got Mount Lady.
He got Mount Lady, man.
He scored a bag on that one. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna type it in chat. I'm not gonna say that what I'm about to say on air.
By the way,
I'm gonna read it though.
Speaking of one of my favorite side characters, where the hell Ed shot at? One of the most OP characters in the entire story.
He went with the Shigaraki group, right? Or
is he with them?
I think he was. He was in that group or some other group.
Ooh.
They're trying to buy time for Deku to.
Yeah, I forget which one he's.
I am upset that Hori won't take us back there yet. I'm like, that's the place I want to be, and he knows. I want to see that so bad.
He knows.
Are we seeing a massacre? Are we at least seeing some survivors? Or...
I want to see them putting up at least somewhat of a fight. You know.
So what about this? Because of what All From One said, let's say that it makes you think that All For One is probably going to self-destruct, but he's clearly ready to sacrifice his body. You think we jump back to Shigaraki when he is now?
No, I mean, by the indication of the end of that chapter, we're jumping back to our boy Deku. Finally.
Because he got to deal with that. Yeah, it looks like some things are coming in his way.
I don't think so, Ray. I think
you don't think so?
I think we get a glimpse of Deku, and there's another pause again because that's what he's been doing. So we got Deku first, and then every time a fight is transitioning, we've got a piece of Deku. So I think it's just a transition, and we're gonna go somewhere else. I think it's time to go to oh man, Gigamaki. I think I'm now convinced that's the next destination.
When we see Kirishima die? Yeah, bet. Oh, did I say that out loud? My bad.
Whoops. I'm waiting for you to type. I don't type, Kendall.
I toned it down. I'm not gonna be spicy today. Back on target. We only got you a few more minutes. But I think that it's actually not him. I think it's old girl. I forget her name. What's the pink girl's name again?
Momo?
No. Acid powers.
Oh,
Mina?
Mina. I think Mina's about to die. That's my actual prediction for.
Why would you do that?
Because you want Kishimoto to die, and I don't think he's gonna die. And I think
why would you question Mina dying, but you all set for Kishimoto?
No, you don't understand. I think
what's Kirishima do?
It's for the protection of him. It's
answer
for
the question.
Protection.
What's Kirishima do?
It's for the protection of Kirishima. She's gonna step in and die. That's my prediction.
No.
It's gonna look like Ray's
Unbreakable gonna get
and then Mina's like, "Hey, Kendall sent me. I'm ready to die for you."
Unbreakable finna get broke.
I mean, Unbreakable definitely about to get
my real
snapped.
dad really showed me what's what.
I mean, damn.
All right. On that note, I'm gonna head on down here.
We all know Mafia's his real dad. Let's be real. Come on now. Come on.
Oh no. I'm weeping, but I actually do have to head out. It's been
to leave out with this.
Yeah, it's been great wrong with
I
y'all.
better see you next week, you raggedy. No, actually, I don't know.
No,
next week
it's only My Hero. JJK is on break next week.
Oh, so it's only My Hero. Maybe we'll just record something.
No, wait. Is everybody else on break?
No.
There's
one is on break in Black Clover.
No, but you still have
what you say about Black Clover
and all that. We could still record next week. Not Black Clover. That's rude.
You know what we could do next week? We could do if it's only like 2 or 3. We could talk a little bit more about some other series.
Yeah.
Other series that we're reading, so that people have some.
Yeah, it's Mina. Mina is Pinky.
Yeah, I remember you were right. I said Mina when you said.
I was just making sure.
No, I was just saying. I remember that they're a thing. So I was just.
Oh no, I just had to pull out the official book.
Yeah, thank you for pulling out the official log. For those that don't know who a real fan is, it's Ray.
Hey, look, mess with Ray if you want to. That's just a warning for everybody who's listening and watching. Mess with Ray if you want to.
You'll spoil it.
Fuck around and find out. There you go. Fuck around and find out. But I'm out.
MHA rumored on break after next week too. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And so, I mean, just with that line, heroes don't have a monopoly on big sacrificial moments. You know, that's a statement.
That bomb might actually be a big possibility because within that radius,
exactly what Kendall said.
And never is the first blown. Hawks is near him.
For Danger Sense to go off that far away, it's got to be big.
And it doesn't. The bomb might not just cover their field.
It's covered.
It would be the most catastrophic thing. And then we don't know what other quirks have been given to Shigaraki. He might be the only one that has a counter for it already innately built into him, and it would wipe the entire field.
They are. I think they're so far out of like the field of whatever could be happening down there. Mm-hmm. I feel like they really way up there.
So, I'm just saying you never know, bro, because that's even worse. It's up there. It could spread in the air, or it could be rain to different places.
I'll be curious to see what he is doing. Like, is this like a quirk deleting bomb? You know,
I just think that would be so cool. Like, I'm scared, but that would be so cool. That would be so cool.
I mean, the way that he's talking, like, did you really think I'd casually saunter up to the big finale empty-handed? This body had already served its purpose and was destined for the scrap heap anyway, so why not try this out? Who, Lord?
It's the setup. It's the setup. His whole narration, because we all know narration goat, right? We got the two narration goats in this fight between Hawks and All for One. We know they're the narration goats, but literally from the beginning of this chapter to the end was actually a build up to that line. And it was flawlessly executed, and it genuinely sent shivers down my spine. I was like, oh my God. And then you went from that line and you went to Danger Sense being like, we Houston, you have a problem. We got a problem.
Although I also wonder, is Danger Sense just going off because of what's in front of him? Or is it because what's happening with All for One?
It also could be what's in front of him.
Now,
because apparently there's some like
that's what
shadows or silhouette that's in
Right.
front of him too.
Yeah, but I'll say now remember, he's supposed to be heading towards Shigaraki. So
Also true.
could be in effect and the maybe power enhancement of some sort from the extinguishing of All for One's flames.
And you know what? Like the way Horikoshi plays with like time and placement of panels, this panel, like this stuff with Midoriya, could be happening right as Shigaraki let off his weird hand thing like 3-4 chapters ago.
Right. It does not have to be in the same timing space as what we're watching right now. But if it is in response to whatever All for One's about to do, if it is, that means that it's the reach of whatever All for One is about to do is within range of Deku.
You think so?
If Deku's Danger Sense is picking up what All for One is
Like I said,
specifically
there's
doing,
a chance. Like because like I said, Horikoshi, he's slick. He like he's all about misdirection.
It could be a multi-stage battle shift. It could be
absolutely.
This is all happening at the same time. We're gonna go to another stage, and what Deku is sensing is All for One is making a move. Shigaraki is making a move. I don't know, Spinner or somebody else is making a move because that's another battlefield that has to be rectified. So maybe the villains are all about to shift the entire sense of the battlefield.
What if Horikoshi is just rude, and what Deku was seeing is all the remaining floating pieces of that UA thing that they sit up there and they all did.
He said casualties. What's gonna happen? I mean,
if you said that before the villain arc, I would have ran with you, but I don't think Horikoshi's going to do it.
He wouldn't do that.
I don't think he's going to do
People would be so mad. A lot of everybody's favorite characters is literally in that same spot. A lot of people's favorite characters, which is also should be alarming.
Bro, I just had another crazy thought. What if the remainder of his consciousness went to Gigamakia?
I don't think so. I mean, technically, Gigamakia was supposed to be one of the original Nomus, or his
it wasn't.
Anyway.
He is
at this point
the original Nomu.
We would know that he's the first one, and we know that what was his name? Was it 7, 6?
9
was the second? 9 was the second
9
one.
Was the second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think it's more or less.
Shigaraki is the real complete like body host for his like entirely. So he wouldn't want to go anybody else's other than like Shigaraki's body itself.
I don't think.
I personally think that he just goes back to the All for One for All universe. Kind of.
I was just about to say that. I was like, what if he goes back to the Visage world? I literally was thinking.
That's what I think that is kind of where he goes back to. Like, I don't think it makes sense for him to go anywhere else.
What if we're also pulled back into the Visage world, and that's another plot progression point?
Well, long time ago, I said that this fight is going to end there. That's where it ends. It ends in the Visage world between Shiggy, the Vestiges, Deku, All for One. Like it all ends there.
Another caution of warning and death flag. What if we do get pulled back to the Visage world and something is unleashed and Deku starts to lose not the powers, but his connection to a few of the Visages?
I mean, they're the same quirk.
Because what if now by him being dead, he has to exist in that world, and that creates its own level of chaos and offset inside of that subspace?
So did we? So remind me. Did he like overcome Star, or is it still kind of?
Oh, those are permanently gone.
Yeah,
I think it's gone. But before it was gone, it destroyed literally almost every quirk that he has. So he doesn't have. So he doesn't have so what he copied initially, and I think people have been missing this, is what he copied initially was the original of people's quirk and stole those. Most of the quirks that he has now, I say most because it hasn't been confirmed outright, are copies of powers.
Right.
So they're not original, which is part of what I've been saying. Is I think that's part of the reason he's been having issues controlling them, because there's a certain level of disconnect in his rule over the powers.
Well, that and remember they keep telling us, like, quirks are personalities. You are your quirk.
Right.
So
well, that's what I'm saying.
I
think the departure of him not directly doing it and the legacy of where things are, I think his ability to push his assertiveness and his dominance over the quirks are vastly separated just off of the fact that they're clones. I think that in itself is like a key piece to that. So the personalities have more free reign to be like, well, what is this? Yo, quirk theory, like actual deep quirk theory lore, needs to be released. Hirokoshi, when you finish this story, I need like a deep lore dive.
Don't worry.
Yo, shout out to Aniki.
Aniki with the deep quirk lore. Well, Sam, what did you think of this chapter? Do you think? I mean, because Hirokoshi was very, he placed certain words very specifically in a place. I'm just going to show this for a brief second. There's a certain character's face and certain words are right there. That's weird.
Like I said, there's dead flags everywhere.
He literally put the words "a dead man" in front of Endeavor's face.
there's another scene earlier where he also has what's the word? There's another dead flag, and it's very apparent. It's very apparent that it's a dead flag.
You know, when they start talking about the power of youth and how the future will live on.
Yep. That panel with the showing the future. I think that was a dead flag. It was like the handoff and getting out of the path. That's what it was. I'm removing myself from their path is essentially what was said.
Yep. I need it. But no, yeah, watch it. The kids watching from the side, man, bro.
Who you got, Sam? Who's dying?
Oh, I mean, Endeavor's. He's literally gonna be facing a front. He has a front row seats of that blast of whatever.
I really do. Whatever it is.
And like we already seen him like putting his last stand, his going all out moment. It's okay. You can rest now. Endeavor. You can rest now.
I mean, technically, yeah, because he's gotten rid of the main body for All for One. He did his thing. That's what he had to do, was protect everybody else that was there and get rid of this body.
And then what I was thinking, like, since you said like he's gonna go into the Vestal world, now I'm thinking like with Full Metal Alchemist kind of thing. Because now, if you think about it, you see All for One's burnt up face and that smile is reminding me of Truth real quick. Like, yo, why are you reminding me of Truth? He's just like, he knows where he's going. He doesn't care. And it's like, whatever sacrifices that's gonna need to be made in the Vestal world, I'm gonna be taking Shigaraki's body, or however what so happens. But
he's going to try. Shigaraki ain't having that no more.
But definitely for sure, it's this. I'm wondering for myself, like, how much does he have planned within the Vestal world too? Because I feel like that's like his own second home kind of thing. And it's gonna really suck if this Vestal world is the connection of between, not only from One for All and All for One, but also for the entire quirk of everybody in the universe. What's to stop All for One possessing a person's quirks and bodies in different forms?
What is that? What if that's his awakened quirk? What if that's his? You know what? I'm gonna just stop theorizing right now. But like for real, Sam, like what if that's his thing? Like,
because
what if,
we keep
like
seeing broken buildings
and
rooms
in him dying,
and like
in him dying,
house.
his quirk evolves, and because he's one of the few people that has access to that vicious world, and like you said, if it's connected to all quirks, now he's able to affect all quirks on like a subconscious, altered dimensional.
Well, you know,
realm.
because we don't write it. I'm just gonna say I don't think it works like that. Just based on how he has to steal quirks in order for them to even like.
I know, but again,
work with him.
Yeah,
we've seen how
a person
the
who
rules
loves
change.
like for a person who steals quirks and absorbs every quirk that he can, the worst case scenario is no more quirks in general. kind of thing.
I mean, well, that is a problem, but also inherently a solution.
Yeah.
To like everything, including
But that would
singularity.
Be because that would be so beautiful.
That's
that would be so beautiful.
That's how All for One sees powers as superpowers.
I mean,
quirks and stuff,
just to kind of like spoil one of my ending predictions is that's how Deku ends all of this. He basically collapses All for One and One for All, and that reverberation renders everybody quirkless.
Bruh. And that's how he becomes the number one hero, because his legacy is just a statue of him existing in the world as or he cleans up around the statue. He's just a regular working man working a regular job in the world.
Like I said, that's one of my theories, is that like the ultimate clash and combination of those two quirks coming together for the first time and they're like at their full power is what like basically becomes a cancellation of all quirks. Potentially. That's one of my ending theories. Because we still don't know what happens if All for One or One for All come together. So I don't know.
What a time.
Yeah, what a time. But I love this chapter legitimately. I don't know why I was going to this chapter not expecting a whole lot to happen. But damn, this is a very good chapter.
He gave him the work and everything.
He really did. It never legitimately gave him the work. I told you when he said he had that flash of All Might, I was like, oh yeah, he getting his ass beat. The ghost of All Might gonna haunt this man forever.
I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life
again.
Down bad. He was down bad, bro. He was down bad.
I mean, if you think about it, he only got one good hit, and ever since then, he been getting his ass whooped. If you really think about it, All for One only got in one good hit. And then after that, they was like, nope, mink. And he been taking them. So, but I have the last few chapters of My Hero have been very good. Not so much like super cliffhangery, which I'm appreciating, except for this one. This is like the first cliffhangery one we've got.
This is the first hard cliffhanger we've had since the Shigaraki reveal, Shigaraki power reveal.
And so now I'm like, I fully expected it's going to break after this one, but then I saw that we get another chapter next week, and I was like, whoa, okay. I'm about that life. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering, do y'all remember Horikoshi somehow managed to coincide last week's chapter with Father's Day? Right? So what if this upcoming chapter, which kind of coincides with the 4th of July,
Ray, I like where you're going with this,
involves some more involvement from the United States again? Remember, Star's friends in those fighter jets left. But what if they're coming back with somebody else?
What also if another tie, 4th of July is also known as America's Independence Day. And there's also a very popular movie regarding aliens, if you will, entitled Independence Day.
Why are you bringing up aliens right now, kid?
Okay, I mean, like people in this universe do look like aliens already.
I was about to say maybe not aliens, but maybe something significant.
What I'm saying is
world-ending potentially.
What if this is the return of Koichi on those jets? I don't remember how many jets there were when they left.
Yeah, they did go ahead of a squad technically. They broke off.
What if this,
it would be interesting to see. So what rank is Koichi?
Are you sure, Alves? Are you sure? Are you sure that
I don't think it matters what rank he is. He's a Japanese hero.
I think
him coming back now would be like, yes.
I mean, technically he could come back now, considering where Japan is in ruins. The criminal records are kind of broken and shit.
Exactly. It don't matter.
And he's supposed to be arrested. He's supposed to be arrested and stuff like that. It's
whoever can help, now is the time to help.
Oh,
and I'm saying this.
What if that was the danger sense? What if that was the danger sense?
Maybe
not even any of the villains. It's him returning to the battlefield.
I don't know. Maybe. But I was thinking because those jets could help Deku get up to where UA is, and Koichi can fly. So it's like, I just want to see Koichi. So that's why I'm theory crafting this. I just want to see Koichi real bad.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like it would be weird for him to have been like such a fan of All Might and then not here to help at all. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I mean, like, everybody should have known, like, of All Might's identity, his weakness, and everything. We actually never seen the expression of how Koichi would react to what happens if All Might is really done in this situation.
Well, I mean, it's just in my mind, if I'm Koichi and I see what's happening in Japan, I'm going back because that's my home. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Star went and sacrificed herself, and she wasn't even from there. So what do I look like?
Especially
not
knowing,
going back to help. You know,
especially knowing the public coverage on what's going on with Star and understanding that they didn't even want Star to go.
Exactly.
He might be unhinged right now.
Like, and I don't think they can stop him from leaving.
Unhinged.
So I don't know. But I just feel like he would be there to help, but then he would help Deku get there, but then he would go like protect of like regular people because like Deku's got this. So because Deku don't really need help, he just might need help getting there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just my thing. I would love to see that. That's a theory that I've been kind of spinning on. So
Ray, we got you for a little bit more. You about to hop off?
I actually got to hop because I got to go be Papa Ray.
Right.
So
we appreciate you for swinging through.
But thank you for letting me jump in with y'all. But I will say this chapter of JJK got me back into it because I'll be honest, I was getting a little bored of that fight. To this chapter.
I too. I was like, not you still got gems in this fight for me because I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like
I was like, oof. Yeah, I was like, oh man, come on now. But no, this fight was very, very good. Hikari has redeemed himself in my heart. I'm like, okay, no, I really dig this character. But I'm getting real tired of this fake ass Static Shock. So please put him in the ground. I'm done.
This Static Shock can go subatomic. I'm like, oh, what
I hate it. I'm getting real tired of him.
What? Can Static do that too?
Probably.
Everything for the development of Hikari is
that's true.
Be what the story is going, and I appreciate it. So he better not die. Is all I'm saying.
But this fight, I'm ready for it to be done. I'll be frank. I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready for it to go on to more stuff that we like. I mean, not that we don't like. This is just. Take me back to my main story, please, Gege. Like, where's Itadori? Where are my people at? Give me back my main story, please. Like, I don't know. This sounds dumb, but like that's what I want. Hikari has things. No. I hate it here. Of course, Aniki would say that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, of course he would say that.
I really wanted Aniki to be on this episode. Like when I read the chapters this week, I was like, man, I really wish you was here.
Man.
But
I can't believe. But no, yeah.
Papa Ray,
I'm a
Papa Ray,
but I appreciate y'all. Chat. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us as usual. If we do something next Sunday, Sam will let y'all know. But I'll try and be here for that because I gotta see where this next chapter goes, bro. For my hero, gotta see it. So y'all be easy. Y'all have a good rest of y'all weekend.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Ray. So since Ray already set it up for us, JJK,
might as well. Let's jump into it.
All right. Yeah, I technically saw this coming with Hikari like doing this last domain to increase his probability. Oh no, actually no, it doesn't increase his probability. It increases the speed of him being able to like go through the slots. And I had the feeling like, yeah, he's gonna get that instant jackpot, and that's what's gonna save him and continue on this entire fight. And then, But that apparently but that part of the chapter wasn't the highlights of this entire chapter. It was also the seeing of. It really is fully. His reverse curse technique is full on automatic, even when he's unconscious. Like what the hell? Like what the hell?
I'm also concerned that this chapter may have been a death flag for Hikari. Just off of the sense of I keep tying back the whole thing to like the risk. And they keep pointing out like he's getting closer to some big risk. Like I'm a little concerned about that. I think this is gonna be like, look, you gonna win or else at this point. Cause I don't think we got any more flip-floppy back and forths at this point. And to Alves, to your point of this feeling like your least favorite of the fight, again, I could see why. I don't want to say this was like the best part of the fight, but I definitely, like I said, I feel like I was starting to get a little taken out of the fight and just my interest in general. It was like I was enjoying the chapters week to week. Don't get me wrong, I was enjoying the choreography and the fights, but I was starting to get a little pulled back. So I think this was really good timing for what they presented this week. But I can also see why this might not be like your favorite from the fight.
It's also interesting to see for Kishimo to literally use his electricity to make the poison, the like
the electrostasis of bringing out the chlorine chemicals to make a bomb,
right,
the gas bomb,
the gas bomb thing.
Yeah.
I think that was actually pretty cool and interesting. It gave me that Dr. Stone early vibe where like you have to be very careful with this kind of chemical and gas because it's an instant death kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like with JJK, the fight there's like it's almost like exactly like Dragon Ball Z kind of fight. It takes within seconds. Seconds can be like minutes to them.
Minutes,
and
right?
And that sort of stuff. Because usually, just breathing one breath of that gas is an instant death, and Hikari just got the most of it, and he was able to analyze everything from this before he got knocked out from this.
So if we going by rules of three, he's technically died twice already, and he's gotten very lucky twice already now. So I agree. Like you got to wrap it up here. It can't be either he wins or he loses in like the next couple of chapters. And I mean couple literally, like between the next chapter and the next two chapters, this fight needs to be resolved. But I think I said that last week. I think I said I give them like 3 chapters to basically wrap up whatever is going on here. So I think we're pacing that out pretty well.
At least I'm glad it's not the whole I'm in water. Water conducts electricity, and I just get killed. I'm gonna get killed and shocked by my own core or elemental powers, and then like old school Pokemon. Like, nope, I am just decreasing my curse energy, and just changing the molecular gases within the oceans and water. I think that's very smart, because I would really hate it if this old sorcerer was actually very strong in his peak during that time. And you have him die from his own entire technique in general. Not like how Yuta.
But we already saw that. We already saw that, and that's why I don't think it. I keep saying I think Gege's been pretty good about like, no, I'm not gonna show you something exactly the way I showed you something again. So I think dying to your own power was kind of just like a thing to kind of catch our attention, but I don't think that's how he would conclude the fight in any kind of way. But I do agree. I think there's a lot of ambiguity just to kind of build up the hype of like who's really gonna win in this fight. But I still think Hikari goes home with the bag. But this fight has been tough. This fight has been tough. What's so funny is that like this was like what, part 7 or 8 of this like specific fight. I don't.
Part 8.
Yeah. So like, this is gonna be like, I'm just guessing in the future when this gets animated, this is probably only gonna be like 2 episodes. This whole fight.
What I'm wondering is when the new rule is gonna hit for them. It'd be like, oh, the new rule has been added. You can transfer points now. Does that mean they don't have to die anymore? And that might have been what makes one of them refuse to kill the other person, kind of thing. Because like the old man, he didn't seem to want to kill Hikari because like, yo, it's been a long time since I had this kind of fight.
This kind of fun.
And I'm fun. If I kill him now, who else is left or what's there? Besides Sukuna, because he's looking for Sukuna like since the beginning and all that. But I feel like next chapter would end it. Unfortunately, next week is gonna be a break.
But that's good. We know if typically rule of Gege, we're gonna come back and it's gonna be a fire chapter, which definitely means we probably gonna have the conclusion of that fight and the transition into whatever else is happening on the field and understanding what's happening with the new rules and et cetera, et cetera. So
I also like the fact that like Hikari, we learn a little bit more where he can't use his domain before the round ends, so no increased probability. And then, like, even with this last 5 seconds left, man wanted to be the chat. Nope, I'm going to keep attacking. I'm just going to fight this man in the water. which we have seen before in JJK though, with Megumi and Reggie. So that was the similarity in the same way. But
Yeah, but I think their characters have their yin and yang, so I think it was necessary for that, if that makes sense. I think they're kind of like the same side of the or two sides of the same coin. So I think that's why that was reflected in that way specifically.
But yeah, the explosion within the water in itself, I think that could be the last. That could have been the last blow altogether. Like how
It could have been.
how you predicted with All for One might just had a whole self bomb thing just to take out everybody within his proximity. I think he just Kashimo can't get out of the water. He eventually if he uses electricity, he's just gonna shock everything around with him. And Hikari is now killable. Because this was within 5 seconds left. I guess.
Or Hikari used all of his curse energy that was in the water into a final attack, and it just wiped him out. And we just see the remains and maybe a quick flashback of like the final interaction, and that's just the end of the fight.
I mean, we'll have to see, because like, do you expect to see one of the heroes or one of the team, the JJK Sorcerer School teammates, all of them to win? All their fights and their individualities.
Yeah,
I do expect somebody to lose though.
I initially I thought some people should lose, but then I thought it would actually be more fulfilling if all of them won, progressed to a certain stage, and then in the next stage there are bigger pretenses and bigger sacrifices, because now you've proven that you're strong, but here's like the best of the best of the best. Maybe more of a tournament style, like one location kind of thing, all the marbles on the table. So I think it would be possible, and it wouldn't take away if they did or didn't for me. What do you think?
I think they would be losses, and it wouldn't that's when the rules set in where like, all right, cool, you can transfer points now. You don't. I mean, people still would rather kill to earn points and get the most points out of it, but I think this is more of out of respect. Kashima will be like, all right, kid, I'm just going to give you these points or whatnot because you gave me some entertainment and fun for the last 600 years.
Dang, and then just go off wandering the world or some type of crazy thing.
But yeah, you have to tell me about Sukuna, man. It's like the deal and trade kind of thing.
That'd be cool, bringing him on as a potential air quotes ally, basically, to the current mission, anyways.
Because it took an army to take down Sukuna, so. But we'll see. We'll absolutely see. But
you are right. So technically, we have taken a loss because Panda, allegedly, both of those cores are permanently destroyed. Is the assumption that was presented to us. Not confirmed, but that is definitely an assumption.
He lost a lot of weight. As Sakari said, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, and they definitely gave that death flag of them seeming like they're crossing the Never Sticks kind of vibe. So it's possible that those other two cores are damaged beyond repair for Panda.
I mean, we don't really know how the puppets or the dolls entirely work in general, because Panda seems to be able to talk even with just his face or just his head. But let's see. Honestly, I'm actually ready for this fight to end. I was really impressed with the fully automatic reverse curse technique. Is just.
I think it's time to connect the spaces with a rule. I think that's where we need to go to next. I think implementing the next rule is important.
Right. So even if Hikari still lives that blow, that's his third death? Or the fourth? Because he mentioned all right, I died 2 times already or 3 times already.
So if you count the attack in the previous chapter, where he tried to crush the mind and crush his face. If you count that as one attack, then that's 1. And then he should have died from the poison. That would be 2. And then whatever this last interaction is, this would be 3.
So when Hikari's there, when he asked him the manga brain, do you like mangas and stuff? He did the up and down to the manga guy, right? And then this is what it really does. It's just Wait, actually, I was confused about that. Does it mean like he reversed everything, or he teleport? Oh, he shifted his barrier coordinates.
So I think he was just saying that
Did they just move the
he's in that
dimension?
headspace.
Oh.
I think so. Again, I remember I talked about how the domain can change in form, and I've been like theorizing that I theorized the same thing, that you could essentially move the domain, and I think he effectively just he took Hikari's smart. We know that now. Like if we didn't know that before, we know Hikari's smart. I think that he was actively moving the domain with them inside of it while they were moving, and he just kept track of like a certain number of paces. Like it's like, all right, I know if I head, let's say, west some 100 meters, I'm gonna end up over water, and I think that's probably what happened there.
A lot of potential, because like if he could do that, and we already know Hikari's domain expansion does not require us to be an offensive, and it could be in a defensive, and it could be very quick in an instant. It can literally escape from anywhere, even from that big blast if he wanted to. Let's remember, even after the jackpot is over, his entire his curse technique and everything restarts. Like it starts from the beginning when he's at max. Well, not max, but like full bars. But we'll see.
Yeah, we also don't have a good concept of the timer of what resets that now. I think we've gotten to learn so much about it, but now we've kind of lost the effect of, because we know it continued over from the previous fight. So is there a day limit? Is there a max luck limit? Like where is there like a probability limit? Like where's the actual limit? Maybe there's no limit. Maybe there's no limit. I don't know.
I think he figured out his entire quirk is like Pachinko. He'll draw faster, but the chance of having a jackpot would be 1 in 239. I don't know the next entire probability where he will hit another jackpot. But you know, Hikari's done. He said that he doesn't want to do another domain expansion within that after the 5 seconds anymore.
Yeah, I think it's now become too risky to even try it, is what's happening. So, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think it's go or don't go at this point. It's fly or don't fly. A decision is being made one way or another when we get this next chapter, I think.
But yeah,
oh man,
not too much to say.
Yeah,
but it was still
straightforward,
a good chapter really good chapter to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to speak over you. I was just thinking the same exact thing. Yeah, straightforward, good chapter.
It's okay, all good. We could go on to our final manga, Undead Unluck. Honestly, it's pretty cool. It's cool though. Ghost has his own body, and he's using Nico's body in a way because Andy broke his mind.
Yeah, that freaked me out for a second, bro. Because I literally, the moment it happened, I was like, look, if Nico don't regain his consciousness, this fight is over. Before Ghost even did what he did, I already had a concept in my mind that Ghost can attack anywhere, anyhow, pretty much unprovoked. And I was like, I don't think that I just don't see a way for Andy to get around this without someone else intervening. But I'm happy the way it ended. I had already kind of came into this chapter from last week thinking that Nico was gonna die somehow. So I think I got that. That was already in my head anyways. And then I did not expect, even though I knew, I wasn't thinking about Fuko. So I thought that was also a really good part to this chapter.
Yeah, what I got from this was just Ghost, the Uma Ghost itself being almost like Casper and shit, or the more crazier Casper. The whole, you want to be my friend or you want to be my food? And the whole,
that was kind of dark, honestly.
Honestly, it is dark. It is very dark. But I guess this was Ghost's motive this entire time. He needed a body. He really did not like to be a ghost. He even says he didn't, because he's also explained how Andy was able to move with unmovable negation and all other stuff was because he moved his soul. And when he moved his soul, he manipulated the bone and flesh and everything in order for him to use his abilities and stuff like that. This is a lot interesting with the ghosts and souls and astral fighting as well as the physical fighting, because Andy somehow can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
and it's sick. But you're fighting now man goes in between of both. He's Danny Phantom. Man has ability of both. It's Danny Phantom.
Yeah, this man, Danny Phantom, he got the Ichigo holification. He's everything at once and nothing at the same time. It's cool, and I really like the design artwork that they kind of portrayed, and also the chains that were like basically tied to Fuku's cage. I thought there was a lot of like really niche details in this chapter, and I think that Undead Unlock, again, like you and I always say, like it continues to be really well paced, a unique story. I've seen some people say that the story isn't unique online, and I was like, I don't know what you guys are reading. This is very different than the way a lot of shonens are typically handled, in my personal opinion. So, um, yeah. Anything else stand out for you from this chapter?
I mean, I didn't expect the whole Nico giving being the whole sacrifice. Yo, I lost like a man. Give back the give back to my man's waifu already. And just like, yo, that's why I hate you, stupid Umas. You don't follow the rules. Because even though you can make up the rules, but like, yeah, I can allow this one rule to go through. But if you're just gonna break your entire rule, what the hell is your point? You just become like the whole like.
I thought that all was so important. I thought we did a good job of not like betraying any of the characters for who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
We saw certain strengths of Andy come out. We saw certain uniqueness with Ghost come out, and then we saw the uniqueness of Niku. Because for me, especially in reading the last few chapters, I was like, Niku's got the strongest will out of everybody here, man. This man is on one. So I was a little disheartened when I was like, oh man, did he really break him? It was like, is it really Andy's fault that he broke? But it's just like, nah, it was just kind of like he had that moment. It was that shock of having to let go of it. But again, Niku's still able to put their will forward.
But it was
and,
more
and
towards
understand.
sorry. It was more of a pride thing in a way, though, because like,
Mm-hmm.
because even with Rip, it was a pride thing as well. It's like, yo, I needed your points. I need to do my kind of thing, and like the only way you can really like get through to me is you have to kill me. You have to get past me, no one get kill me because I have my own goals and motive. Same with Nico. It's like I couldn't get through my goals. He's still, I wouldn't say he was loyal, but he has a man's pride where like, yo, he won fair and square as a man. Somehow with that negation with the whole souls thing in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like this could be a way to end the series as well, because like I'm hearing rumors that Undead Unluck is about to end soon. Within like the next couple chapters and that sort of stuff, but I don't know if that rumor is true.
I could see it. I could see. I feel like I'm getting Black Clover vibes here again. Remember when I was like, I could see us wrapping up Black Clover all together in like 10 chapters. That's kind of where I am right now. I could see, maybe another volume, or even, yeah, I think I could see maybe another volume out of this series and it wrapping up. But I don't know. I feel like there's still some epic fights and some story and some premise to be set up here. However, I don't think that this is a series that's one for dragging stuff out. So I wouldn't be surprised with this, ending. We're at what number are we on for this chapter? Is it 180? No, I'm thinking about JJK. I'm thinking about JJK. We're at 160. So yeah, we could wrap up at like a good maybe 125 or 130 or so. I think that would be cool. But I want to see more. And that's me speaking selfishly. I do want to see more, but there isn't too much more. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so it's ramping up to its final fight. So if it is in its final fight, are we fighting God, or are we fighting the polar opposite of Andy, Unruined? But I think it'd be more
Wait, I just want you to know, neglected. I just shared it actually in the chat. There is talks of Undead Unlock being animated. Official talks of Undead Unlock being animated from Shonen.
Nice, because it's not just and it wouldn't be just be Undead Unluck. It's also now confirmed Masho
Yep,
animation.
Mashal confirmed as well. And we were just talking about like how did all of these other people get ahead of Mashal and Undead Unlock? So there are talks of official animation for those series. So again, it'd be a good point. It'd be a good point, or even point to stop, do an anime, and then maybe come back with another world. Or again, this is a series where we could literally get a whole other timeline. Bring in some of these same legacy characters and then continue the world from there. It would be another cool twist. We could get something like a Fire Force tie back to Soul Eater kind of thing. That would be like so dope.
But then I don't know any other prequel series that the mangaka has made before Undead Unluck though. And
Which would still make a good premise to go forward where there's a part two, but it's a
I mean,
slightly different story.
I wouldn't mind if her new story, or new connections and stuff, in that time machine or that parallel dimension arc that they use, they go into a different series in itself. But that kind of like makes the concept a little bit more crazier, considering where they're trying to stop the world from Ragnarok and exploding
Yeah,
and dying
no,
and stuff like
I
that.
think the series is fine to end here. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, I think the series is fine to end here, and I will absolutely read another story by this mangaka. I will absolutely give them a chance to tell me another story. They've definitely tied me in. They've sold me on their ability to execute, and I would be ready to listen to another story and see how they play around with other themes of the world. Because I always say one of the most enticing things for me about Undead Unlock is the way that they play around with what we consider to be the natural law, the rules of the world, and the way that we interact and engage with things every day. Like Sam pointed out, we keep saying this thing about pride. Like I've always pointed out, we keep saying this thing about love. And there's these core concepts that are played around with throughout this entire series. So another series that plays around with maybe some other core concepts like this, but a completely different story. I would be ready to watch it or read it.
Agree. So if that last final fight ends there, that means like the series ends of them going to the next multiverse, or
Yeah, I
the
mean the
next
fight,
repeat,
the
and just
yeah,
ends it from
what
there. They
or
just
there might not be a repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like there's ways to wrap it up because I think the final fight is one thing, but the wrap up is another thing. So we could have a final fight, final clash, and then there'd be decisions on which way they want to do different things. Maybe maybe there isn't a maybe there is a go back, maybe there isn't, maybe a new world completely is born with some different premises, but you get the chance to, like, what if there's a new world, everyone gets to restart, but it's not necessarily the world that they've lived in, and that's part of the catch, is that it's not the time that you've relived, but the same people are going to be reborn, and the opportunity to fix things still exist. Or not, it could just be a real, you could have a nice cute repeat, and there's another world, they restart, none of these negator abilities are a thing, and but they still, Andy goes on a quest to find all of these people and make the connections. Maybe they still have glimpses or flashes of the memories of different people, or even the opposite, maybe they have glimpses and flashes of memories of Andy, and they all come together to find out what happened to Andy and Fuku as like one final, like, set a journey, and they find Andy and Fuku someplace living happily in, the mountains or some wild thing. But also that'd be weird because remember, Fuku, Andy's old. So how would that even work? I don't know. That, like, I'm making stuff up right now, obviously, but it's just like you also gotta remember, if the abilities don't exist, Andy and Fuku are from two completely different timelines of existence.
I was thinking, because if the final fight is with God, it makes a lot of sense. I really do not wish for the ending like Ayashigan's ending was, like, oh, we got led to the final fight, but the fight ain't happening because we got axed and canceled. Like, then this is entirely pointless. If it's against Unruin, it kind of makes things a little bit more interesting because he's the wild card for God. And he can just, for some crazy reason, he might just, actually he won't kill God. He'll just be like fucking around with and Fuku even more.
So even like Alva said, finale of the fight with Nico, I think that literally just means this chapter specifically, we're done with the fight with Nico. I think that's probably the better way to interpret like what that editor's note is. So we'll see what happens next. I guess we have to, it's about time that we go back to Unruined. And I still think that Unruin being the physical embodiment for God and having that final clash with Unruin and God, and then being maybe a duality or whatever the case may be, I think that's what we're kind of leading to.
I'm fine with that too, because like, if Ragnarok happens, doesn't that mean God comes into Earth, and isn't this the setup battlefield of both for Andy and Fugo to fight God? Because we know that Fugo is the one that's gonna have to be the ones to kill God by loving him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see. I'm actually fine if they can end this series before 140.
Yeah, I was about to say we don't need to get to 150. I literally was
140.
thinking we don't need to get to 150. This series should wrap up before that.
But then that's already a lot already, because we're at Undead Unluck 116.
Yeah, but this fight is over. Let's say there's maybe 2 more big like stories to be told. I think that could be wrapped up. Like I said, I think that's like 2 volumes. I think we could wrap that up before 150, or even end at 150. If you want to stretch it, whatever, sure. But I don't think it needs to get past 150 in any kind of way.
Agree.
And I don't think what we've been getting from Undead Unluck, I don't think they're the type of series that's going to unnecessarily drag out the story. As long as they stay true to that anyways, I think we'll be good on a good course to wrap up. No later than 150.
Alvarez, they technically did kind of do that. Andy gets captured by the next loop, and Fugos has to save him. He kind of did that. In,
if you want to be honest, that's how the story. No, that's how the story started.
Yeah.
Like, if you really been captured, you really want the whole initial chapters are Andy being like he's on the hunt. Yeah, he's on the hunt. He's being hunted down and stuff. He's always been the one that's being hunted down throughout the whole series. Then, like Sam pointed out, when we had the first Uma season, we basically had another dive back into Andy as well, and Andy needing to be rescued. So I think Andy's been on the rescuing end for a little minute. So
long minute. Now it's just like Andy doing the main rescuing for this entire part of the arc. I didn't expect this arc to be the last arc though, but I don't know. I think the rankings for Undead Unluck has not been like enough, or it's just barely surviving. That's sort of point.
It's doing well, but I think it's not a matter of it doing well. I think it's doing well when things like Sakamoto Dave are super thriving. It's doing well when other series are popping up and doing really well. So I think it's doing well enough to justify it getting its ending, and nothing more than that.
I can see that, because Sakamoto Dave just got like 2 back-to-back front cover, and then Mashal got one, but that's that's just to announce its anime, I think.
Yeah. So Mashal got one to announce the anime. Sakamoto Days got one basically because they were peaking in sales.
Yeah, they had like 14 million copies.
Yeah, they hit or surpassed the circulation goal essentially. So I think that's why those happened there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We talked about a lot of series also coming to a natural conclusion in the anime world. So like I think some of these mangas do need to end so that in a couple of years, when things like My Hero and stuff are wrapping up, you can come back and remarket these mangas as anime.
Although I do want to see the animes for a lot of these Shonen Jump series, there have been some that weren't as successful, like Phantom N.
Mm-hmm.
Like Phantom N did not do so well when it came to the anime, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And like I'm afraid like long series like this with Mashal, well actually no, Mashal should be fine. With Undead Unluck and
who else just got animated?
It'll be hard to squeeze everything within 24 episodes. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's why I said getting it like maybe later on, like in a couple of years, with some of the other series are winding down, because then you could break it apart into maybe 2, maybe even 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. Just a quality. I think a quality 3 to 4 season series of like animation wise is cool, especially when you already have the release content with the manga, then you're just pushing the manga sales, because then people, I think it's more enticing to people when they know they can buy the whole entire manga series completed.
But I feel like at that point they're fighting for a second season, and then we don't know how long another season would be. In 6 years from now, like the Devil's a part timer.
Well, that's what my hope would be. Since the manga is already completed, there would be no reason to fight for a second season. That would be my hope, anyways.
I mean, you could tell that to Promise Neverland. I mean, you could tell that you could say that to One Punch Man. You could say that to what else? What other series that didn't have a really
where's my book? Where's my book?
Huh?
Emotional damage. Why are you doing this to me, Sam?
See?
It's the end of the episode.
You can have an anime if you're cool, but can you get a second season without the whole entire backings of a successful animation team or anything lacking, or how much you have to the storyline that needs to be condensed in? That is very hard. The only thing I've seen successful much earlier is this probably Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, that's a whole nother beast in and of itself.
Like Spy Family too, and like Spy Family has less chapters for them to build up too. But
yeah, but I mean, they gave that 25 out the gate. You know what I mean? Separated into two parts. So like,
and it had a successful first season where it lives for another season. At that point, it's like you're gonna know where it's going to stagnate, and you know what's gonna happen. At that point, it's up to the team of what they decide to do. Unfortunately, you can't give it to the Promised Neverland team. The Demon Slayer, the Demon Slayer team are leading up to the hit or miss arc for what people would like, the turning point. People call this the next arc of Demon Slayer, the peak, or becomes mid. Afterwards, it starts becoming trash. Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to feel. The things that they did to Promise Neverland and God of High School make me so wary. But like, I'm trying to be hopeful. Because I do want to see some of these stuff, like Sam said, I do want to see some of these stuff animated, man. I really do.
I could definitely see them put in good work with Sakamoto Days for sure. And Masho is like I feel like it's one of the most easiest to do because it's a gag manga. The gag series is something you don't really need to take too seriously, and you can actually you don't have to make a really good art animation parts in the scenes.
It could be a good setup, honestly, because maybe that's why they stopped it where they did, because you could come back with a whole bunch of episodes of just straight fire and action, and it would redeem itself. I think One Punch Man could easily come back and redeem itself. Unfortunately, Promise Neverland.
That's what Masho's gonna be. That's what Masho's gonna be, though.
You're not wrong. You're really not wrong.
That's literally the beginning of Masho. It's like
you're
literally
really not
within
wrong.
a punch or the comical. Oh, I got you in a chokehold, or I got you in a drop kick or whatnot, and I took you down. Kind of thing. It's just it's Saitama, but instead of one punch, you get the whole entire. You have at least other fighting choreographies, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Also, I'm so sorry, but 7 Deadly Frames does not ever need to come back. What they can do if they would like to is continue to make spin-off movies and series, but 7 Deadly Frames does not ever need to get a season. And I hate to say it, Promise Neverland can never come back the way it currently is. They would have to do the entire series over, because they can't just bring back a season 2, because they forced about 3 seasons worth of a series into one season. I still haven't watched it, and I refuse to watch it. I absolutely will not give it a click. No, they literally could have had 2 more seasons and a whole movie from the amount of content that they tried to force into season 2.
I agree. I could definitely agree with you with that. And continue with what Al says, like unless the same team that did Madhouse of One Punch Man is going into Masho, people automatically will say, "Oh, it's still better than One Punch Man season 2 animation." Right from the bat, they're gonna say, "Still better than One Punch Man season 2 animation."
The one thing we know is that people are gonna hate regardless.
Mm-hmm.
People were hating on Spy Family season episode 1 until they realized everyone else liked it. People don't remember that
bandwagon.
because they got because it got really popular really quick. But a lot of people was like, oh, I don't know how to feel about this Spy Family. This feels like a waste. Why did this get animated
ain't
over
these
this?
the same people that says, oh my god, Demon Slayer is the greatest anime in the world? Really?
Demon Slayer is my #1 anime. There's no other anime better than Demon Slayer. And that was before we got season 2. People were saying that.
Yes, it was. I remember that time. Just because of that one episode, number 19.
Yeah, no. I think also in a time where we're getting a lot of remakes and stuff, I think there's just I think the anime industry is way ahead of where we think they are in their predictions and how they're planning to handle the end of some of these series and the beginning of others. So we'll see how this goes. I think Mashle is easily a series that could be fully animated for its entire story. It's short enough, and I think it would be fun. I can see 24 episodes.
I could see Mashle
Actually,
24 episodes.
I could see at 24 episodes, 2 seasons. Maybe even 36, maybe a 12 episode or a 24 episode to start, and then like a final arc, season.
Actually, you know how it can actually work? Make it like Iruma-kun kind of way. Almost like half a story per episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then 24 episodes.
Because it doesn't. It's so gaggy early on. It really doesn't need that. So like I could really see that.
It doesn't need a 1 episode per chapter kind of thing. It can literally do like 2 chapters per 1 episode. Literally half stories or something like that. I mean, like opening, and then you find out the entire point of this entire series, story ending, the main point, and
and we're not saying rush the content by any means. What we're saying is the content is written in a way that you could get more in an episode from the written work than you normally would get from other series. So you could get what you might get in an episode out of like 10 chapters. You could easily say you can get that from Mashle in like 15 chapters instead. So you would still have a full episode, no missed content, but your pacing would progress through the entire manga a lot more quickly without losing any of the quality bits from it.
Exactly. And I mean, it's just similar already. It's just one's a demon school, the other one's a magician school.
Yeah,
more Harry Potter life, but you have a Saitama in a Harry Potter school, like.
And it progresses fairly well. We have bits of action, we have bits of comedy, bits of action, bits of comedy, and then they're mixed together interchangeably throughout. But I think Mashle would be super straightforward, super simple, and I think we're seeing a format where we're trying to put out completed works a little better as far as mangas are concerned and anime. I think getting mangas that can end in 150 chapters and then being able to push out a 2 to 4 season series is probably a really ideal framework. It gives the opportunity for other mangakas to really be able to get their work animated and push the timeline and the lifeline of mangakas and animators. So I think it'd be cool.
I agree. Also, you know what day? Okay, so also in the news that we were supposed to cover them last week, Chainsaw Man is also going to be on a Wednesday too.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that.
The Jump Plus chapters is going to be on Wednesdays, or I don't know if it's Japan conversion type. It might be our Tuesdays actually.
Yeah, I'm willing to guess it's our Tuesday. So yeah, probably Tuesday evening, similar to kind of how we get Kaiju. I think that's what's going to happen. But that was really left field. I did not expect that, honestly, I mean, especially for Chainsaw Man.
Well, Jump Plus series is like you never know which series to come in because Ghost Reaper Girls is still Mondays. So is JoJo. Tuesday has some other Viz series or Jump series that's on Viz. Don't Pick on Me, Shimuya, or something like that, or like something about that. Nothing really came out on Wednesday except for like 7 Deadly Sins, but I guess I'd rather have this replacement for Chainsaw Man, and we can add that into our roster when we do Shonen Ronin.
Yep, I'm ready to talk about Chainsaw Man. I'm ready for everyone to enjoy that series. I don't think it's I've been saying this for a while. I think people have underestimated the prospect of what this year was going to bring from anime. I think Chainsaw Man is actually going to struggle. It's going to be a fight for Chainsaw Man to be declared the #1 anime of this season. We'll see.
I mean,
Animation.
We're still waiting on Bleach. We don't.
Yeah, there's a lot, and we're only going to get like it's not they're not about to animate the entire final arc in like 12 episodes. So there's a lot of content to be covered for Bleach. But let me tell y'all, when the how do I want to say this without being spoilers? When the main bads make their debut into the Bleach world, and what happens there, that's gonna be epic. Like, it's gonna be epic. It's a little embarrassing the way that the big bads kind of show up and do people dirty.
But yeah, I think we've gone into a lot pretty long tangent
Yeah.
of our news and everything of Undead Unluck. I believe it's hard to pick out which one was better, and that's why I think we should skip the best issue of the week, because all of them did really good on their own specific right. It's very hard to compete one another when they actually had different tactics of how to write their stories and their artistry, their everything. It was all good. I'm hoping like next week. I'm hoping with this following week during July 4th weekend. Even though we have only My Hero, JJK on break, One Piece on break, got Clover on break and everything, I really am hoping One Punch Man does come out with a chapter with this week. There's no Kaiju number 8, so we will see what we can do, guys. Kenny, you want to throw in your plugs real quick?
Yes, sir. Y'all know where to find me. Come check me. Come talk to me. I've been doing a pretty good job of being interactive on Twitter. So I think I'm gonna declare that my central space now. Come talk to me on Twitter, y'all. And the links down below to my link tree. Definitely follow me everywhere. I've been trying to post some more voice acting related TikToks and get my content up. And if you're going to DreamCon, then come holler at me, man. I'll be out there.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed our weekly Shonen Ronin. We will let you guys know on Twitter if we are having an episode next week or if we are on break. But yeah, hope you guys have a good Sunday afternoon. Peace.